Josh, I think I'm actually happier for Nikola Jokic than he is for himself.
Yeah.
He just wants to go back to Serbia, bro.
Yeah.
He wants to get the hell out. He doesn't want to go to no parade.
So, me personally, I think I look happier when I get like an extra Chick-fil-A nugget in my bag. Than Nikola Jokic did winning a championship. Me personally, I think that's.
He's like the only businessman of the NBA. Literally wins the championship after maybe one of the greatest 3-year stretches we have ever seen by a player. And he's like, it's okay, I get to go home now.
I mean, why wouldn't you? But yeah.
He's as cold as Ivan Drago. If he dies, he dies.
Like Jamal Murray, like crying. Like that's what I expected out of Jokic. Jokic just like didn't even celebrate. Went over, shook everyone's hand. Did his interview.
Daughter, bro? Her daughter was like just looking like this.
His brothers were happier than he was.
His brothers was turning up. They was tossing Mike Malone in there like a newborn baby. It was great. It was great. Great scene.
Anybody see the odd video of him like holding someone with a champagne bottle and just belly flopping into a pool after that? I don't know where
I did not see that.
I think they were in the hotel room, but it was just this weird belly flop situation. It's a very odd thing to watch.
That is.
Man,
he is devoid of emotion.
Yeah, it's crazy. We gonna talk about it, but listen, typically if you win a championship, you can let loose a little bit. You can just do whatever. You can turn up, as the kids like to say. Shout out to Denver Nuggets. They got it done once again. First championship in their 46-year franchise's history. If you want to join the conversation and talk about it, the number is 516-572-7440. Obviously, we're going to get to the Subway Series. 15 minutes. Going to talk some Saquon Barkley. We got into it yesterday, but I think we need to extend the conversation out. We'll get to those topics, but we are going to start with an interesting NBA topic because, like we said, Denver Nuggets 2023 NBA champions. Nikola Jokic. I mean, what else can you say? Just listen to these stats. So, number one, in the clinching game, Nikola Jokic goes for 28 points. Mild for him. Yeah. Something light. 16 boards. Oh, by the way, 12 of 16 from the floor. Just what pressure? It's a closeout game in the finals. What pressure is there? So much pressure on Nikola Jokic. Yeah. Definitely affected him. Named the finals MVP, he averaged 30.2 points per game, 14 boards, 7 assists, 58% from the floor. I have a live audio of him from postgame.
Come on, man. That's too easy.
That was actually Jokic. I swear. I promise.
Wow.
Jokic is the first player in NBA history to lead all playoff participants in total points. He had 600 of them. Rebounds, 269 of them, and assists, 190. First player in NBA history to do it. I want to split this achievement for the Denver Nuggets into two topics that I think is going to be interesting. Let's start with Jokic. Because if you look at this man's resume...
Eternally mid, though. Keep in mind.
No, I wouldn't say mid. I would say impressive.
No, you would say mid.
But you did say mid.
I said his team was mid. His team was mid.
Either way, it doesn't look good.
It's not good. But
you got to go down with the take now. I don't know what to tell you.
It's okay. We can all, change our opinions. So, but,
No, we can, but radio's a little different. Radio's a little different. Like, you say stuff, it's out there. You know what I mean? It's a little
yeah, but we own up to it.
No, we need to clip the piece of the audio where he said either the Nuggets or Jokic was mid. And just keep it in the vault.
Oh, man.
For all time.
With all due respect.
With all due respect. Nah. But what can you say? I mean, arguably, he's the best player right now. The way he has, set the bar very high, with all these stats. It's just something that's, for my opinion, I feel like it will be taking a long time to be achieved. In which no center has actually done it. You don't see Shaq doing it, Will, or even Kareem. I mean...
See, you opened up a Pandora's box. This is exactly what I wanted, because my question was going to be, Nikola Jokic, 2-time MVP, champion now, finals MVP, All-NBA, All-Stars. He has the crazy stats. He's doing stuff statistically nobody's ever seen before. And he's got a championship. So if you look at, I compare it to Giannis 2 years ago when he won his first chip. And everyone was like, he's top 15. He's top 20. He's this, he's that. I want to know where you guys think Jokic fits into the all-time discussion. Mauricio brought up the big men. And I saw Jay Williams on ESPN talking about he said something crazy. He was like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like, Jokic isn't that now, but by the time he finishes his career, like, then let him do it first.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Let's not jump the gun. I'm very happy for Jokic, and he's incredible. He's already, in my opinion, a top 5 center of all time. I really believe that. But
Top 5 center. Ooh.
no, really, think about it. Because you said the obvious names: Wilt, Shaq, Kareem. Then you start thinking about it a little bit.
Is he better than Alonzo Mourning?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think he is. Sorry, not yet. Not
Really?
yet. I can't give him that yet. He's got to do it a longer time. He's been this good for like 3 years.
It
Can
is
we
true,
take a
but-
step back?
But how far
Is he
like,
better than Hakeem?
No.
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 I have him 5th.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't have. He's working his way to a top 10 space, but I don't think there's definitely more. Is he better than Bill Russell? Is he better? Is he?
or what about Moses Malone?
Moses Malone,
Yeah,
another one.
Good name.
Yeah.
Good names.
So there's time. He's young. He's really young.
And he's got a lot
Was
of
he
work
25,
to do.
26?
No, I think he's like 28. Near
Is he
28.
older than that? Jeez.
I checked up his age.
Yes, he is
but
28.
He's 28.
20
Yeah.
All right, 28 years old, but he's in his prime now. How long has he been? Let me look real quick. How long has he been like a heavy hitter?
Didn't he come around like 2016?
But I mean, like when we can say he absolutely became a bona fide. Like I said, the last 3 years he's been a
Bonafide,
bona fide star.
I would say like around 2019 because they were like in the second seed of the NBA at that time for the Western Conference.
And I don't count 2020 because that was a shortened season. You can't
Yeah,
really
but the way he performed, he defeated a Clippers team in which
Yep.
they were 3-1. So that far, let alone.
But I mean, his stats are impacted by that. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I'd say for the last 3 years, this guy's been
Dominant.
an absolutely dominant force, and one that no one has an answer for yet. Nobody has been able to answer the question, what is the correct way? Because if you get uptight on him, he'll roll off and pass, or he'll roll off and shoot. If you give him space, he'll just drop back to 3, and he can hit it in transition too. There is no answer for him.
He's basically kind of like indestructible, in which I think about it, and it's like, what team can stop the Denver Nuggets?
And healthy too. That's the other
Yeah.
thing. He's played 70 games almost every year he's played. It's
Yeah,
wild.
That's the
It is.
crazy thing, because the one thing that can stop an all-time great from being an all-time great is the injury bug. We've seen it time and time again.
But it's like more common on super teams when you think about
The
it.
injury bug? No, I think that. You think the basketball guys are like, they have a super team? I'm just going to throw the injuries at them and it's all good.
But I feel like it's
That's how I'm going to police the NBA.
But when you think about it, from time to time, it's what's happening.
I mean, I think Nick's right. He's the longevity. The reason I'm so comfortable in calling him top 5, or at least on a top 5 trajectory in terms of big men, is he's not going to be slowed down by injury, I feel like.
Yeah.
At least as far as we can see right now. He's not going to be slowed down by being out of shape, because he just worked his butt off to get in shape.
And plus,
when he came into the league, he was the Pillsbury Doughboy, let's face it. He worked on his game, he worked on his body, and this is what he's become. So that's not going to go away,
No.
especially after he won a championship. So all of that stuff is there for Jokic. He's in the prime of his career, in the prime of his life. And there's really, because I like to think I know basketball a little bit. So usually I'll watch players with like a scouter's eye. Like, if I was an opposing coach, what would I do to stop them? Obvious name, Jaylen Brown, I would make him go left. Jason Tatum, I would make him go left. James Harden, make him go right. Joel Embiid, make him a passer, double team him. Make him see hands. Double team him. Mix things up. For Jokic, there is no answer. There's no answer. You can't double team him. He's going to pass out of it. You can't single cover him. He's too good. He's going to post you up and score.
And there's
Unguardable.
nobody- yeah.
It's like this man has no weaknesses. Basically, you try to find every trick, but this man, no, I wouldn't say that. He has every trick up in his sleeve, Even when he's guarded, he has someone to pass it by. It's a sense that it's amazing.
Yeah. No, and you know what the real scary part about the Nuggets is when you look at their finals. Here are the big contributors in the finals. Ready? It was obviously Jokic, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Bruce Brown, Michael Porter Jr., Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and a little bit from Christian Braun. Ready?
Rookie.
Here's the crazy part: none of them are up for contract except for Bruce Brown. they're all coming back. And they're losing a bunch of dead weight free agents like Ish Smith and DeAndre Jordan and Thomas Bryant and a bunch of these guys. They're all getting off payroll. So they have every opportunity to bring in, God forbid, I don't know if it should be a Westbrook or a Harden, but they're going to have that kind of money to play with.
Yeah.
So they can bring in some smart pieces to surround him again. So this is this could be the early. We might be seeing the early signs of a minor dynasty in Denver.
And I'm happy you said that because that's the exact question I was going to ask. Because think about it. To add to what you just said, all those core guys are locked up for another year at least on their contract. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who won a championship with the Lakers, is the only one over the age of 30.
Yeah, they're all young.
They're all young, too.
They're all young. Ooh. And the ones that will come up are restricted free agents.
Oof, you talk about a lot of life in them. Oof.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
What? At least give it another 6 years. They'll be dominant.
Hey, we'll see how many more titles they win. But we got a caller on Sports Talk. Caller. Oh, no, he's gone. He's disappeared. He left us.
Oh, man. Just one quick question. I don't know. Not a quick question, but like for me, when I see the Denver Nuggets, it's giving me a lot of San Antonio Spurs vibes. When it came to like the days of Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, just the way they play, the way they've achieved, and just the way they control the game. It's giving me more of those kind of vibes.
No, it does. It has that same similar kind of thing to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
we got to give shout-outs to Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. We'll see what they grow into because, like we said, they're still young. I think our caller's back. Caller, what's going on?
What up, Josh? It's Justin.
Justin, what's going on?
Nothing. Heading to Citi Field right now.
Oh, good luck.
Subway.
I take pity for you.
Should be a dumpster fire, but, it's always a great atmosphere. I've been to a few Met Yankee games. It's really unlike any other thing. You go to a Mets game, there might be, 5% of another team's fan base there. It's really bizarre going to a place that's 50-50. I don't know if you guys have ever done, the Subway Series, but it's definitely something everyone should do. A bit pricey. I spent a crap ton of money on some really bad seats, but, it'll be fun. But I know you guys are talking about the NBA right now. First of all, Nick, I love you, but Alonzo Mourning, come on.
Yeah,
you're gonna tell me. Hold on, you're gonna tell me the body of work of Alonzo Mourning is not better than Nikola Jokic? You're out of your mind,
dude. His prime years was like back in Miami when he was getting thrashed by Michael Jordan.
It doesn't matter. Look at the numbers he put up.
Seriously?
And then Hakeem the Dream. You're gonna tell me he's better than him? Are you gonna tell me he's better than Patrick Ewing?
He's not better than.
He's not. Okay, no. Nikola Jokic is not better than Hakeem Olajuwon and. Okay, Patrick Ewing, that's kind of a little bit in the middle.
He created that style of play. The way Jokic plays, that's Patrick Ewing's game, that step outside three kind of deal. No big man was doing that before Patrick Ewing brought that to the NBA.
Yeah, but Nikola Jokic perfected it, which led him to a title.
He's not there yet. Let's pump the brakes, people.
Let me meet y'all in the middle, all right?
Okay.
All right.
And then I'll let Justin go. Here's what I'll say on both sides of y'all argument. Because Patrick Ewing never won an MVP. Jokic has 2.
Yeah.
Hold up. Ewing never won a championship. Jokic has that. But Patrick Ewing was a phenomenal defender.
That is true.
Jokic does not have that in his game. That's why it's splitting hairs with them.
As Charles Barkley would say, he was a banger.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's exactly. Jokic is... He's a banger, for lack of a better term.
Justin, I'll give you. I won't give you Alonzo Mourning. I think overall, I think he had the better career up to this point. I'm not saying he won't be better, but I think it's a little early to be calling him among the top 10, top 5 greats. I think it's a little early. That's all.
I mean, if you look at Alonzo Mourning, I mean, he won the one championship. He was a bench player on that team. He was never top 5.
A chip is a chip.
No.
Yeah, but he was past his prime.
Stop it.
Jokic won 2 MVPs. Only a handful of people can say that. Alonzo Mourning, I don't even know was he ever first All NBA team. I mean, he was good. Don't get me wrong, but that was a league. There was always better centers than Alonzo. I mean, this guy. I don't even watch modern NBA, but hearing those NBA final stats. Look at Alonzo Mourning in the playoffs. He never averaged more than 20 points, 25 points. This guy's putting up 32 in the NBA Finals. That's unworldly. That's some like Dirk Nowitzki 2011 type stuff there.
Yet another guy I think he's not better than yet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wouldn't put him over Dirk either. I know he's more of a power forward, but you know what I mean.
But yeah, in general, yeah.
I wouldn't put him over Dirk either. No, Dirk. You know, I'm with you, Nick, as far as the history goes. I'm a big, history buff when it comes to the NBA. So I always respect, the guys from the 50s, 60s, obviously up until when I was watching as well. So I respect that, but I don't know. Alonzo Mourning, he never defensively. There's very few as good as him.
100%. 100%. How many guys have averaged in the last 20 years 3 blocks? And I think there was one season he had like close to 4 blocks a game. Not to mention the fact that he was a halfway decent. When he got to the outside perimeter, he was a halfway decent perimeter defender. Look, I'm right there with you. What I'm saying is, from 92, I don't remember when he started, like 91, 92, till the early 2000s, there was a consistent string of 20-point seasons, 10 rebounds. Jokic has only been doing that for consistently for 3 years. Now, the end of Alonzo Mourning's career is very sad because he fell off. He got hurt the 1 year, and then he really fell off. It probably hurt him in the long run. But what I'm saying
he
is...
had the heart issue, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yes, I believe that's what it was. But his first 9-10 years or so were phenomenal. Forget what I get it. What he did in the playoffs, not magical, but there is that thing of being a consistent great. Jokic isn't that yet. He's got back-to-back MVPs. He probably should have back-to-back-to-back. I'm in that camp.
Yeah, Joel Embiid looking funny in the light, bro.
Yeah, I'm sorry. As far as I'm concerned, he was robbed. He was absolutely robbed. But if you're going to, apples to oranges, I'm not saying that Jokic isn't going to be an all-time great. He is on that path. I'm just saying it's too early. It's too early.
It is too early, but...
You can compare to like Larry Bird. Larry Bird's run in the mid-'80s. This guy's winning 3 MVPs. Not necessarily having a short career. Look at a guy like Sandy Koufax. A lot of people will say he's the greatest pitcher of all time. And if you look at his longevity, it's nowhere near something like Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan, in my opinion, is the most overrated baseball player of all time. Just because you have the longevity and you have the statistics doesn't necessarily mean you're the GOAT.
I always like to look at it as, were you there? There's like three consistent measures for me. It's like, were you dominant for a decade? Were you among the best players for a decade? Number 2, do we have to even ask your name when we consider you among the greats? Do we have to even think about it? And number 3 is was there something that did the game have to change for you in some manner? Obviously, Jordan guilty of that. Ewing a little bit guilty of that, where the game kind of had to change for the player. But again, there needs to be some consistency of greatness. And yeah, he's got a chip, but now Jokic does too. He has 2 MVPs. Obviously, that's all neither here nor there. He's on his way. I'm just not ready to say it yet. That's all. I felt this. Yeah.
I'll give you guys one more name, and then I'm going to head on out. But David Robinson.
I was waiting on somebody to say that.
David Robinson, Tim Duncan.
Yeah, look at David Robinson though, because Tim Duncan gets all the love from the Spurs, but Tim Robinson,
David Robinson,
David Robinson in '95 when he won the MVP. He did get bitched out by Hakeem in the play. But if you just look at those numbers, I think he put up a 70-point game that year.
Yep.
This guy was unbelievable. And when he got injured, you saw how valuable he was because the Spurs ended up being the worst team in the NBA. And then they got Tim Duncan. Maybe a little collusion there. Who knows? But, yeah, David Robinson, the 90s, as somebody who doesn't watch modern NBA, the 90s, if you just look, Robinson, Dikembe Mutombo, Alonzo Mourning, Patrick Ewing,
Larry Johnson.
Olajuwon. Think about, I'm just talking about centers. Think about the big men in the league now. Does Jokic even have a peer?
Does he have a peer?
Besides, Embiid, I guess, is the other.
That's the only other guy I would say, like,
about
for
Giannis?
sure.
And Embiid, Giannis. I would
He
say,
plays like he plays like a forward though. I know he's tall enough to.
Giannis is a 4. Yeah, Giannis is a 4. Jokic is a 5.
Yeah.
Jokic and Embiid are 5s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Embiid's barely. He's in the room with Jokic. But he's like barely like hanging on to the doorknob at this point. Like
Yeah.
He's basically
Jokic is so much better than him. It's crazy.
It's absurd.
Yeah,
It's absurd how
because
much
Embiid is the kind of player who cracks under pressure. So what can he really?
Yeah, he doesn't
expect?
have that gene in him.
Yeah,
That's mean. I guess.
He doesn't. It doesn't
It's
seem like he
true.
does.
It's true, man.
When Doc Rivers is your head coach, what do you expect?
Thank you. See, you can't
Come
just.
on, he won with Rondo and the big three. Come on now.
Yeah, but it's Doc.
All right, Justin. Enjoy the game. I will be at the second leg of the Subway Series in July. I think July 25th. I'm going to Yankee Stadium.
Oh boy.
So
Ooh.
yeah, we'll
Nice.
see. We'll see.
That's
All right,
equivalent.
hopefully we
goes.
get a Mets victory. Have a good one, boys. I'll be listening until I get no service.
Thanks for the call, Justin. Hopefully the Mets get it done.
You buying those tickets is the equivalent of me going to Thursday Night Football with Zach Wilson.
Well, you know what? If nothing else, like the Mets could lose 11-0. I just
Yeah.
want to take on some toxic Yankee fans. Not because they're going
Just
to be.
start beating them up like freaking Batman.
No, not beating them up, but I
Five
can,
at a time.
I can talk some smack because they're gonna come with the. We have 27 rings. Look at us.
Wait,
Yeah.
are you both going to the game after
I'm not
this?
going, no.
You're not going? No.
Not tonight, no.
All right. I
did
got to
wanna
be
go
honest. I
tonight,
think you
but-
guys are down. I think the Yankees. I'm a hot take here. I think Yankees are going to lose both games. I think we're
I,
going to lose.
I wouldn't
That
be
is the
shocked.
hottest of hot takes.
Listen, the Yankees stink without Aaron Judge.
We're pretty darn bad.
They
man.
are.
I'm not afraid of that. I'm afraid they better win tonight because I have a bad feeling Cole's going to run through their roster tomorrow.
You're not
Just
wrong
a
about
bad
that.
feeling.
Yeah, listen, both teams are limping into the series.
Yeah, now they look great.
Yeah.
The Mets look, well, garbage. The Yankees are like hovering now.
Oh, the Mets, the fighting Danny Vogelbacks. We will get to the Mets in a second, but I did want to wrap up the NBA Finals. Once again, congratulations to the Denver Nuggets. In the 76th year of the NBA, the Nuggets won their first championship. Nikola Jokic wasn't too hyped about it, though.
When is parade? When is parade?
Thursday.
No. I need to go home. Okay.
He just wants to go home.
Just a no.
I
was
mean,
enough to make me laugh.
what can
my
I
ass
say? It
off.
was a long season. He's deserved it. Let him relax.
No! You won a championship!
Have some fun.
Yeah! Why are you sounding like this?
I hate it here. I want to go home.
Why are you sounding like that? You won a championship!
Yeah, but
What are you talking about? I want to go home. I want to go home so bad. I get it. You're homesick.
Elevation's getting to him out there.
Yo, do you know how many players would die for an NBA championship? How do you think Charles Barkley felt watching that? He went his whole career without a championship.
I want real meat.
That guy, that guy. When his whole career without a championship.
Say it again,
he's watching,
Say it again, Chuck.
He's watching Jokic just be so nonchalant about it. I couldn't believe it. If I was an NBA player, if I was like Joel Embiid, I would be sick.
Allen Iverson probably watching
Yo.
that. How many Nuggets greats were in the crowd last night, wishing they could have been in his shoes?
Yo, it's crazy. It's that was wild. Shout out to him though. That's a great job. He's great Finals MVP. But can you at least fake it. Fake emotion.
Then they were in the locker room in the celebration. He's just drinking the champagne bottles everyone else is spraying with. Like he doesn't know what to do.
Damn, he looks sad as hell drinking that champagne too. Like, bro, do you not realize the magnitude of what you just did?
He's an undercover agent from Serbia, gone NBA professional player.
He's in too deep. He's like, well, you weren't supposed to win that championship. Now you're in too deep. We can't pull you out the mission.
Give me my second round exit back, please.
He just wants to go back to Serbia, but you know what? He earned the right to do whatever he wants this summer. That's for sure. How about this? Stan Kroenke, the owner of the Nuggets, as well as the Avalanche, as well as the Mammoth in lacrosse.
I didn't know he owned so many teams, but I saw this stat last night.
Yeah.
He won 3 championships now? I didn't even know he owned the Avalanche. I knew he owned the Rams.
I had no idea. Nuggets won the title right now, just now. Avalanche won the Stanley Cup last year. The Mammoth won the MLL Lacrosse Championship.
I didn't know that one. I know he had 3.
With all due respect to my lacrosse players, nobody knew that one. And the Rams won the Super Bowl, so he sold his soul. This is clearly a blood sacrifice.
Maybe he could finally get some real hair instead of that nasty-ass headpiece.
No, that's Mark Davis. It's Mark Davis.
Mark Davis.
Does
Never
Stan
mind.
Kroenke have a headpiece?
He might have one.
Let me do some
Just
research.
shave that mustache, though. I think it might be a clip-on. Who knows?
Hey,
Does he have a headpiece?
listen.
I know Mark Davis is bad.
I remember I used to troll and say my beard was a lace front. I'm serious. It was a morning show topic. It was like I told people this. Because I was like trying to mess with girls and stuff. Like, yeah, it's a lace front. Don't believe the hype. And she was like, no, it's not a lace front. And then she pulled the hell out of it. I'm like, yo, why would you do that? You pulling hairs out. I was trolling. You think Cronky goes through that with his mustache? Just like
It's like
clip-on mustache. Like
people just like pull it to see if it's real, like in public, and just be walking by and just they're yanking it.
it's like people used to say like Klay Thompson. Like, you can't tell me that goatee isn't like he hangs it on the coat rack and he comes home.
Oh, no.
That'd be looking crazy.
Little tiny hanger.
Super glued on now.
Another long day. Just finally get to take this thing off.
You imagine if James Harden's beard was like,
God.
Oh my God.
just kind of comes, it's Velcro on his face.
Yup. This is my conspiracy. I've always said he grew that thing way too fast.
It was
come
weird,
on,
right?
bro.
Because
It was.
it felt like it happened in less than a year.
It was
Like
one
that.
year.
You know, like the hair products or like menus he used
Yeah.
on his beard.
No, it's like it's 1 year he was like completely barefaced. The next year he was like full. I'm like, bro, what?
Yeah, like
How?
2013, 2014. Like, when I saw that, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Oh man.
I will say this.
Yeah.
I was, just to finish my thoughts about the Nuggets in general, I was not against, because I didn't care. It's the Nuggets. Who cares? But now people obviously do. But I was against the huge extension that they gave Jamal Murray a few years ago. I was like, what are you paying this guy for? What's he done? He's turned into the perfect Robin. To that Batman. He's turned into a perfect Robin.
100%
So
fact.
I whiffed on that.
You know,
Honestly, Jokic acts like Batman. He really does. The more you think about it, stone cold, doesn't care about anything, never smiles, never happy.
And they have Murray running out like, gee, Willikers.
Yeah. And honestly, that might be the perfect comparison, Batman and Robin.
He's so expressive, and Jokic is just like, chill, bro.
That's actually
Chill.
perfect. Brady, I think you're cracking too many codes. I think you're flying too close to the sun, bro. I think Jokic it might be I don't know. He's not beating the allegation, though.
It's all right. His brothers will come beat my ass, probably. They listen to WHPC Sports Talk also, probably.
Exactly.
Yeah, you, not me. You know?
Oh, no, they listen to you.
No, they heard you.
No, they listen to you.
They heard you.
They listen to like, ooh, all right. And I took that personally. And then he went, dominated the NBA with the 600-point playoffs and, finals MVP and the ring.
Nah, those two big old dudes gonna ring this bell over here. I'm about to see two big Serbian dudes standing at the door. Like,
Open door.
You're here from Mr. Mendoza, aren't you? Okay, he's right in there. Yeah, right in that room.
You come home with us.
I'll be like,
Come with us now.
Braden's crazy, bro. You're listening to WHPC Sports Talk here on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Josh Williamahi, Braden Daniello, Mauricio Mendoza, and Nick Ornberger. Y'all know the drill, 516-572-7440. Yeah, just call the number. The Mets and Yankees, like I said, they're limping into the Subway Series tonight.
Snim over.
For the Yankees, it's Severino over. So, I mean, he's pitching tonight for the Yankees against Max Scherzer.
Which means complete game shutout incoming. I'm gonna just be.
Braden, just give us your thoughts on just how the Mets look, and I'll ask Nick his thoughts on the Yankees.
But why? You know what I'm gonna say? I say the same thing every week. They're garbage. I mean, they're trash. Nick's telling me would you be satisfied if there's 7 games over 500 at the end of June? I'll be lucky if they aren't 7 games under. It might be more. I can't
told you
take
not
it
to
anymore.
panic.
What do you mean not to panic? I'm panicking. It's over. How can a team be so hot-ass garbage? With the top payroll in baseball, at least bugging them playing Vogelbach. Did you see the thing, by the way, of Frank the Tank roasting Vogelbach?
Yes.
The designated watcher comment?
Right in front of Pete Alonso, just...
Frank doesn't care.
He doesn't. Clearly he doesn't. That was fire, though.
It was fine. He's a designated watcher. Perfect.
He's living the life of, every disgruntled Mets fan.
Yeah, except he's always like that. He was like that. At least when they won 101 games last year, I was somewhat happy until the September collapse hit.
They're feeble.
Yeah. I have so many memes and they crucified Tank in the media because he was the only one brave enough to tell the truth. But Yeah, the Pittsburgh series, it's the same. They finally won a game, thank God. We all ended like it was the end of the world. And then, since they're the most inconsistent team in baseball, I say it every week, they come out the next game, they have 1 run on 3 hits. Tommy Pham is the best hitter, Josh, on a team with a top payroll in baseball.
Hold on, let me give you some background music. Keep going, though.
Oh, my God.
Continue.
On tonight's segment of How Will the Mets Met, Tommy Pham is the only reasonable son of a bitch on this team. Pete Alonso, injured. Francisco Lindor, trash.
Lindor, damn.
Luis Guillorme, attached facial hair like James Harden. Who else is in the lineup tonight? Hold on. Brandon Nimmo. He have actually somewhat decent hitting, or actually decent glove because his bat is inconsistent sometimes. Who else is in the roster? Hold on, I gotta get this up. Let's see. Where's the lineup? I'm gonna go down the whole roster. Give me a sec. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Jeff McNeil, he of all of a sudden who has 1 home run because the Mets can't hit at PNC Park to save their lives because they're probably too busy gazing at all how beautiful it is. Starling Marte, he also can't hit. Brett Beatty, I got his jersey. Now he's garbage.
Oh, you jinxed him.
Luis Guillorme, attach on beard. Only reason, Mark Canha actually hasn't been somewhat decent. The only problem is he's playing first base. And Francisco Alvarez. Tommy Pham and Francisco Alvarez are the only good players, Josh. I can't do it. I can't.
Yo, see,
this is terrible.
There's no way anybody would have believed that at the start of the season. Yeah. Tommy Pham's going to lead the Mets in OPS.
Yeah, right. No, wait, hold on. I'm not done. Keep the music going. We got the starting pitching next. Carlos Carrasco is all of a sudden their best pitcher. Justin Verlander. The only good reason you're here is because Kate Upton comes with you. Max Scherzer, you have to lock in because if not, you're the only decent pitcher probably left on the roster. Jose Quintana's coming back just to get injured again, probably. Who else do we got? David Robertson throwing a cookie to Orlando Arcia, but I can't even get mad at you because, you've been somewhat great this season. And how can we not forget the legend of Xi Jinping? He is probably the most consistent starter, but he's a 30-year-old rookie, so, the Mets are still hot ass. I hate this garbage-ass
he
roster.
Pulled the Xi Jinping out, bro.
F this team.
That's crazy.
F Billy Epler, and get Buck Showalter out of New York. I am done. It's out of here! I've had enough. The Mets season is out of here. Just take Howie Rose and send them all to... No. Take Howie Rose, get Gary Cohen, have them just put Vogelbach and Epler and Buck all on a ship and just right to Cancun with Gerard and Pat Bev. Perfect.
And Dylan Brooks.
And Dylan Brooks isn't worthy of Cancun. Let's be honest. He's over in Guangdong.
He's in Guangdong already. He got the season started. Ni hao.
I hate this team. Why do they do this, Josh? This is why I can't be positive.
Listen,
I can't take it anymore.
Listen, man.
I'm scaring Mauricio.
Mauricio's moving away.
Had enough. No. I can't do it.
I can't tell what's worse.
I thought September was bad last year. They're doing it every month now.
Well, Braden, I've been saying this for the past week, and I'm happy you're here so I can finally say it in front of you, because I know you're going to agree with me. Because the Mets...
are done? Well, Sean's on that boat already. But
last year.
That isn't difficult.
Last year.
Yeah.
The Mets, great team, leading the NL East, and Billy and Epler goes... Vogelbach, Ruff, Lakeland. Those are my 3 guys.
The greatest trade deadline ever. They can't even do it.
Oh, don't forget Michael Givens.
Oh, God.
Don't forget about my boy Michael Givens.
He hung that slider. He hangs his slider worse than Drew Smith, and that's tough to do. Drew Smith's off speed is so hot ass. I didn't mention him during that.
No, you didn't mention him because he gets enough stuff from Ross. You gave him a break.
Well, he's still garbage. He rightfully so. I had never seen a guy with such a great fastball just to follow it up by floating a slider, a curveball right over the heart of the plate, and the guy hits it 450 feet. I've never seen it. It's impeccable. What you were saying about last year at the trade deadline?
Vogelbach, Darren Ruff, Tyler Naquin. You're the Mets saviors.
Is Naquin in baseball still?
No.
I figured.
No.
Yeah, but that's Epler's MO. That's this team's MO, Josh. If you want to go all the way back to next year, whenever the iron is hot, they don't strike. That's the reason they lost the division. Vogelbach had a pretty decent run with the Mets last season. Darren Ruff was garbage. Naquin had his moments, but tapered off. Michael Givens was just hot ass, but that's nothing new. And then you hit this year, Naquin's not back, Givens not back. Ruff is even worse. Ruff gets TFA'd, and now Vogelbach can't anything worth a damn. But I have to give Buck Showalter credit because you know what? I rant on him all the time. At least he's not stupid. At least he isn't R-word enough to keep Vogelbach in
Reasonable?
this lineup. No, not reasonable.
Oh, okay. I never get it right.
A lot worse. Like, something you would use to describe Dylan Brooks, that R-word. But...
reckless.
I was thinking.
I'm just
more,
gonna stop guessing.
Yeah, fair enough.
You got it.
But at least he's not stupid enough to keep putting Vogie out there. He doesn't.
He finally stopped.
He still doesn't play Mark Vientos. So when he hits 140 because he plays twice a week. Everyone's surprised.
Yeah, everyone. Well, dumb Mets fans, because I split Mets fans into two sections: simple, smart, and dumb.
There's a lot more categories than that, but fair.
Those are the two overarching ones, you know what I mean?
Fair enough.
The dumb Mets fans are like, oh, Vientos sucks. He's the one young guy that's going to get traded. Smart Mets fans would be like, he's not getting consistent playing time. He's not getting the same playing time he was in AAA.
Like, why would, the lineup today is a perfect example of it. Because, listen, me personally, I don't have anything against Luis Guillorme. I know I just kind of went on a little rant on him and the whole team. But Jeff McNeil's in left. Luis Guillorme is at second. Why wouldn't you go Jeff at second, put Canna in left because Canna's at first base, and then put Vientos at first? Like, would that not make sense?
You are 1,000% right.
Like, even if you want to, but get Vientos in the lineup. I don't care where he hits anymore. Like, you can't expect him to do anything when he plays back-to-back days, and then Buck looks at him like, all right, Mark. He pats him on the head. You go sit on the other end of the bench with Danny Burgers. You could share his Shake Shack lunch with them. And, you could just sit there for the last 5 days of the week while the big boys take it, except the big boys suck.
He gets that smoke burger.
I'm still trying to figure out what his restaurant chain should be named. Josh, what should Vogelbach's restaurant
Don't
be?
ask me.
No, please.
Nah, I'll let Nick answer that.
All my homies for his walk-up song.
Oh my homies.
It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet.
See, I didn't want to come in and be fat phobic today. Braden's trying to force me to do it. I didn't want to do it.
Frank the Tank inspired me. What can I say?
Buddy, you got a buddy with a belly right here. You can go ahead. You have my permission.
Jesus. Comparing you to Vogelbach.
Yeah, that's
for the rest of the fat community. I'm telling you, it's okay. Go for it.
My God.
Take your shot. I'm ready.
Oh man. Big Vogie.
I want real meat.
Say it again, Chuck.
Say it again, Chuck.
Say it again.
I want real meat.
Now, because he's over here, I wonder what he's thinking when he's watching 3 straight pitches go right down the middle and go sit down. That's what's going on.
You only have to pitch in the zone to him because he'll watch everything. That's the whole thing. Everyone raves. Every Mets fan I hear about that is still a Vogelbach stan, which there aren't many left. There aren't many
really
left.
Vogelbach stands, bro.
There really are.
That's crazy to
just
think
because
about.
he's a meme. They saw that the big old neck and yeah.
I'll tell you what he's thinking. He's thinking the same thing Luke Voigt was thinking, except Luke Voigt just swung no matter what.
Dude,
he's thinking, I'm getting paid anyway. Screw it.
By the way,
let's go.
Luke Voigt, the new Syracuse Met. The newest Syracuse
Dude,
Met.
bring him up. Bring anyone up. It can't be worse than Vogelbach, can it?
Try it.
With the Mets, honestly, it would find a way to get worse.
As a Mets fan, if you ask the question, can it get worse?
But if you want to go back,
it can get
you know
worse.
it always can. But
that's like saying Bloody Mary 3 times in the mirror. You really shouldn't do it.
Inevitability,
But if you want to go back to the Vogelbach thing, they're actually people that will still defend and be like, oh, his plate discipline. It's so great. It's like, yeah, if you bury 3 or 4 sliders in the dirt to him, when you throw a fastball right down the middle, Vogie just stands there and watches it go by. And it happens again and again, and then he trots back to the bench, just to eat, his side order of fries or whatever he eats. Then everyone's yelling at him. So the man has 1 extra base hit in his last probably 50 at bats at this point. So and I was ironically in person to see it, and everyone started pissing their pants, going nuts because they all thought Vogie was back. No, he isn't. He isn't.
I could not have put anything Braden said better. I mean, you look at it now, the Mets, they're 4 games under 500, and listen, this was a team that was expected to do big things. I don't know if they were going to win the division, but
it wasn't even the payroll. This team was literally a World Series fan. We rave about the payroll all the time. Listen, There are teams that spend a lot of money and have always failed miserably. The Dodgers are a great example of that.
Only one title they've been doing that
now,
for
to be
2 decades.
Fair, yeah. Well, to be fair, the Dodgers always have a great regular season, then they choke in the playoffs. The Mets, not so much. The Yankees are another great example. They spend a lot of money. They've struggled as of late. They obviously have the history. They haven't won anything as of late.
15 years almost.
Yeah.
15 years, no championships.
Like
$200 million payroll.
Stanton, Donaldson.
Even the Phillies, when they got Bryce Harper that first year, they spent it was almost a $400 million roster, if I remember right. And they didn't even make the playoffs. But on top of the spending to be a World Series favorite coming into the season because of what happened last year, and really you could trace it back to their offseason. They didn't, they got a lot of flashy pieces, like a Kodai Senga here or there, David Robertson. They upgraded their pitching, and they just didn't solve DH. And that's obviously a big part because, listen, as we know, the DH isn't the only problem with this team. They have massive question marks everywhere. You don't know what game you're going to get from half the roster. And as if it couldn't get any worse, now they're down probably the most consistent hitter the next 3 to 4 weeks. But
yeah, Pete Alonso with that wrist.
Yeah.
Thanks, Charlie Morton.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Good old Chuck. But you just don't know what game you're going to get out of this team any day. And it goes back to what I always say with this team. If one day it's the hitting, the next day it'll be the bullpen. If that day it's the bullpen, the next day it'll be the starting pitching. If all that fails, then Buck will overmanage or mismanage. It's always something every day. It's always something. And on top of the fact that you don't know what game you're going to get out of anyone, this is the end result. You have a team that, has all the money poured into it, looks great on paper, and just, it doesn't perform. And we really shouldn't be surprised in hindsight, but, here I am yelling because I hate this team.
I can't wait until David Stearns pulls up in the offseason.
Oh, please, dude, get me a GM. The thing about it is, if you want to go back to Epler, I have friends that thought Epler was a great, not great, but they always thought he was a good GM. I was never on that boat. And I never was. Because Steve Cohen could write all the... you go first, because I want to rant.
No, I'm just agreeing with you. What had he done?
It was just the hopes that Ohtani would come, let's be honest. Because he used to be in L.A. That's the only thing. Yeah. You can write... if you're Cohen, you could write all the checks you want. You could throw all the money around you want. If you don't have the right manager, and Buck Showalter, perfect example. How many games did he mismanage this season?
Oh, I see. Yeah, I think the fact that Mets fans, I know who's calling. The fact that Mets fans direct all their anger at Epler, rightfully so, but you're letting Buck Showalter kind of off the hook because he's done some weird stuff this season.
And Epler also fumbled the bag in the offseason. So you could throw all the money around you want. If you don't have the right guy spending, it isn't going to work. Let Ross rant, though, because I've given up on life.
Yeah, what's up, Ross?
I was going to say it's very simple. Become a Dodgers fan like I am.
Why? That it's just the same thing, except I get to have my heart broken in the playoffs.
You're at least in the playoffs.
Yeah, but I want to see my team win a champion. That's why I wasn't satisfied last season, Ross. Everyone was like, 101 win Mets. They're finally out of the basement. The Mets are back. They weren't back. It was the same old garbage we've seen all the time. They get your hopes up just to let you down. The only difference is they did a hell of a lot earlier this season. The Dodgers do the same thing. The Dodgers and the Mets are very similar. The only difference is the Mets can't have a great regular season. If they do, they'll just do what the Dodgers do in the playoffs. They'll just choke. That's what this team does. That's this team's identity. It's very tough to overcome a losing culture. And Steve Cohen, spending as he might, doing all he can, writing all the checks, it's going to be no different. We're still going to be sitting here at the end of September talking about how much of a joke this team is. Say they do make the playoffs. What's to lead me to believe this team can actually make a run? Oh, because the Phillies and the Braves had 80 wins and both made it to the World Series? Give me a break.
And that's not going to do anything unless they start pitching.
This team doesn't have the balls that Braves and Phillies team did to make it far in the playoffs. They definitely 100% don't.
I would agree with that, actually.
I gave up after that Braves series. That was it for me. I gave up prior to that, but that kind of sealed the deal for me. So, just because, for one reason, Buck doesn't know how to manage, and also he doesn't. That's a big thing. I mean, I think Epler, he screwed this team for sure. Maybe because he's a Yankees fan, but back there because he used to be for the Yankees. He was actually people don't talk about that, but he was actually the assistant general manager of the New York Yankees. So
it all makes sense now. But he's just a trash ass GM. He doesn't know what he's doing. Case in point with the DH. You make all these moves to the bullpen, which still is not really that great. I mean, Robertson as a setup man is a lot better. Diaz going down really killed this bullpen. but they still have a lot of question marks there. The rotation, I won't blame him with. I will blame with JV because I could have seen this happening. I couldn't see it being this bad. If you really want to go at Epler, look at the DH. He really looked at Vogelbach and Ruff and said, you big boys, come back. At least he didn't bring back Naquin. Oh my God, that would have been great.
You kept Drew Smith. That's pretty pathetic.
Well,
I told you he has.
Drew Smith. He have great fastball and trash ass off speed.
Yeah, Ross got real smoke for Drew Smith. I
don't blame him. He's garbage. How can you not? Go ahead, Ross.
He's not. What's it called? He's very good at one thing: get up home runs. He's very good at that.
Yeah.
I hate saying
elite batting practice pitcher. That's about it.
Well, you got to be elite at something.
Yeah, we all are.
He's not. It's very simple. As long as the Mets have that uniform, they are not winning.
No.
Come on.
So what, are you suggesting a rebrand?
Listen,
the New York Levines.
That's actually fire. Actually, I like that.
Come on, it's very simple. As long as it's like this. As long as Gary Cohen, Keith and Ron, and Howie Rose are calling the games, they are going to suck. It's just a fact. I hate saying it, but
don't tell me that you're putting this on.
No.
You want to put the only bright spot of the team as the reason? I'm going to lose it, Josh.
You're going to put it on one of the greatest first basemen of all time and his crew.
Absolutely lose it.
Come on,
Joe Biden should manage the Mets. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Come on. Listen, Howie Rose literally said this is a World Series team. Blame him. It's all his fault.
He said he hopes it. Now, Howie Rose knows deep down that this team has no chance, but he said he hopes that they give him that call before he retires. I don't think they will. He probably knows it's not going to happen. But, I mean, what else is he going to say in this offseason? Yeah, this team will never win a World Series. Get them the hell out.
Listen, we're going to start Max Scherzer.
Minnesota!
And then Brandon Nimmo.
Keith, you're starting at first.
That's Biden.
Joe, that's Pete. Joe, that's Pete. All right, Andy, you get out there left. Joe, that's Mark Canna.
Joe, all right, Gleyber Torres, you get a second.
Gleyber Torres.
That's the other team, Joe. That's the other team.
And then Michael Kay is the assistant coach.
This guy's really good.
This guy's really good.
The analysis on that guy. Let me tell you.
Top notch.
Move over, babe. You were saying, Ross. You were saying.
I was saying that they are never. You gotta just change the uniform. That is at least what they have to do.
Well, maybe the City Connect will be coming soon. By the way, move over, babe is probably what Buck says to Vogelbach every night.
Oh yeah, I told you this is their meetings before and after the game. That's it. There's no words exchanged. That's it. That's it.
He's like petting Vogie on his head.
Yeah, like it's okay. It's okay.
Tummy massage.
He made him a great steak, an outstanding beef ribeye.
Is it the beef ribeye? No. Like the whole that.
Where is this going?
No. Buck rolls in like the popcorn machine just into the dugout, and Vogie's eyes just light up.
I like where Ross is going, like the dim light, medium well steak dinner with the wine glasses. Yup.
The candles in the background.
Yup.
Rose petals everywhere.
It's an
a good steak sandwich. It's so true. Listen, there's a steak. I'll leave you with this. There's a great steak sandwich place at Citi Field. I'm sure there's a job for him to go and work at that steak.
Oh, that's happening. Mark Canna is waiting for the leftovers to fill for his Instagram page. The big league foodie. So whatever. Brett Beatty is watching it horror from the dugout.
Oh no, y'all are wild, bro. Ross, you got anything more for us? How you think tonight's game's gonna go?
They're gonna get killed.
Okay, 30-0.
I can't believe you
Bye,
got
Ross. Bye.
I can't believe he'd be. Just listen to our lineup. It's terrible. This is look. How about this? I'll keep my side of this short because the show is coming to an end.
Yes.
But when Vegas puts the Subway Series between the Yankees and Mets on a run line of plus 1.5 for the Yankees and plus 140 on the money line, that's Vegas going, oh. I mean, they're both so terrible. I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea.
Do you want to read the Yankees lineup tonight, or do you want me? Who wants to do it?
It's pretty terrible. You got Bowers at 1, playing right field. You got Stanton DH playing second because nothing says a number 2 guy like a 278 on base percentage.
Oh, dear.
You have Gleyber Torres at second, hitting third.
Hold on. Continue.
Oh, thank you so much.
Your own segment.
You got Anthony Rizzo at first, cleaning up. You got DJ LeMahieu, who has been our most consistent hitter, batting fifth at third base. You have Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who hopefully is going to turn it up at
Center
some point.
field.
In center. He has we have no choice. Who else is going to play it?
You're right about that, actually.
Got McKinney in left field. And then you have Higashioka catching at 8 and Anthony Volpe playing short at 9. This is an absolutely pathetic lineup.
Remember how great the Subway Series was last year? Both teams in first, great rosters. What the hell happened?
Injuries and well, that's it. It's been injuries.
So the injuries and the Mets.
Yeah,
that's about it.
It has been an impressively bad, and obviously Luis Severino having a horrible contract year, pitching. We're going to be on the mound for about 2 2/3 innings tonight, I'm guessing.
He was injured also, right, Severino?
Yes. But now, look, we'll see what's happening. It's going to be bad. It's going to be maybe the most boring Subway Series in recent memory. This is real bad. Yes. So that's it, everybody. That's what you got to look forward to today over at Citi Field. And boy, could we not be more excited.
It's funny how Braden and Nick, you guys just both, like, this is the Subway Series, and people would think,
no positivity.
I was listening to a morning show today, and they were like, the Mets-Yankees tonight, they're going to be, popping in the city. It's going to be lit in the city.
Oh, no, it is not.
No,
we should be going back and forth right now, arguing over who's going to hit more home runs, Lindor or Judge.
Facts.
And instead, we're sitting here bitching and moaning about how bad this is going to be.
And it's appropriate. Because they haven't. They've shown us,
and neither one of us are out of line.
It's crazy. No,
we're
teams
not.
Like
we're really not.
Teams like the Texas Rangers, they're showing you juice this year.
Yeah.
Even the lowly Cincinnati Reds, they got this kid Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah.
Excitement. There's no excitement with either of these teams.
The thing about it, Josh, the funniest thing, there's like a disappointment in every division this year. NL East is the Mets. The whole division really. There's the NL Central. The NL West, you could maybe argue, is the Dodgers, but more the Padres. And then if you go to the East, it's like probably, I would say more the Blue Jays than the Yankees, but the Yankees also have those expectations. The AL Central is everyone.
Yep.
And then the AL West, I don't even want to say it's Houston. It's probably Seattle. You have a team that, like, baseball's weird this season. It doesn't get away from me, obviously going to state the obvious that the Mets are hot-ass garbage. But, if there's any comfort, Mets fans, we aren't the only team that's been severely disappointed. The St. Louis Cardinals also
they
really
are
bad.
Extremely disappointing, yeah.
Extremely disappointing.
I think with the Yankees, there's still a glimmer of hope, and it feels like Met fans are just like, yeah, their guys are coming back. Our guys just suck.
That's the reality. The Yankees at least have a decent record. What's killing the Yankees is they're in a division that's probably, I think I would call it the best division in baseball right now. You could say
for sure now.
I mean, you're what, 9 games above 500. You're still 9.5 out. The Mets are 31-35. They're in the same spot. Like, the Braves are nowhere near the world beaters they were last year. They had a collapse last night. And it's the Mets. If the Mets played like they were playing last year, they could easily be in contention for first. They would be well above it. But alas, it's the Mets, so we can't have anything nice.
Can't have anything nice ever. Before we get out of here, Braden, your other favorite team, the Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
Hired a coach.
Yeah, I'm not too angry with them signing Laviolette. If it was Hines, then, you wouldn't hear from me anymore. I still wanted Chris Knobloch. Nico didn't seem too optimistic about them hiring Laviolette. I said the same thing with Gallant. Give him a shot. If it's the same thing, we're obviously going to be in the same scenario 2 years from now where the Rangers, didn't do anything and, they're going to fire the head coach. Give Laviolette a shot. He's won a Stanley Cup. He's been to 3 Cup finals. Sure, he's a retread that everyone's been talking about, but, give the man an opportunity. We'll see how it works.